very good evening and welcome to this special edition of ET Now Startup Central. And as you just saw the visuals on your screen, we have a Power Pack show lined up for you, and this is from the Nasscom's Leadership Forum that's taking place in Hyderabad. The World Congress for IT is also hosting the event this time, and we have everything on the show today, from top voices to global perspectives on the show. But first up, let's get things started with none other than the biggest voice on the show, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who unveiled the Future Skills program, which aims to skill 20 lakh IT professionals in the country. He addressed the conference talking about the big potential of Digital India too. Let's listen in.
Digital India is a journey bringing about digital inclusion for digital empowerment aided by digital infrastructure for digital delivery of services. Leveraging technology in such a holistic manner was unthinkable some years ago. We have successfully completed this life cycle in last 3.5 years. This has been possible through a change in public behavior and processes. Digital India had not remained merely a government initiative, but has become a way of life. Technology has transcended PowerPoint presentations and has become an inseparable part of people's life. While most government initiatives depend on a government push, Digital India is succeeding because of the people's pull. In India, we have launched the National Skill Development Mission to prepare our children and youth for a bright future. We also need to ensure that our existing workforce is able to reskill as new technologies emerge. One of the invited speakers at this event, the robot Sophia, shows the potential of new technologies. We need to reflect on the changing nature of jobs in the emerging age of intelligent automation. I compliment Nasscom for developing the Skills of the Future platform.
Yes, you heard it right there from the Prime Minister. The announcement of Future Skills program by Nasscom and the Government of India, that was clearly the big highlight of the event. The IT and Law Minister, Ravi Shankar Prasad, also laid down the roadmap and spoke about how reskilling is going to be a big focus area.
We are creating digital delivery of services in the field of agriculture, in the field of healthcare, in the field of e-scholarship, e-hospitals. And most important, we are going to make 6 crore Indians digitally literate on the rural side. One of the biggest program of digital literacy globally speaking. 1 crore have been done. And in that, my common service centers are playing a very crucial role. The digital profile of India we are changing. But Government of India is very clear, we must explore new technology. And we want to use new technology like artificial intelligence, like blockchain, Internet of Things, robotics, for greater empowerment and greater engagement with the citizens and the government. One thing I would like to dispel very clearly, why this platform of future skills is important. I want to make it very clear that new technology may displace 10 jobs, but create 100 jobs. This point should be very clearly understood. New technology may displace 10 jobs, but will create 100 jobs. Therefore, this future skills platform is a platform to make the existing incumbent getting trained in new skills. And this future skills, and you know, Digital India and digital transformation is a cooperative initiative in the government, between Nasscom, state governments. Ultimately, all of us work together. Therefore, 1 million we will do, others will do. But what is important is, let a proper assurance go from the IT Minister of India that new technology will further empower India and create more jobs.
Okay, there you heard it from Ravi Shankar Prasad talking about the Future Skills program. But let's move on to the big corporate voices on the show. Rahul Dayama caught up with Capgemini CEO, Wipro board member Rishad Premji and Tech Mahindra CEO on the global scenario and the potential for the Indian markets and, of course, the need for reskilling employees. Let's take a look.
The first challenge is a digital project has to be delivered within months. Sure. So some people thought, how can we go to India when it's a matter of a few weeks? But that's being short-sighted, because when clients invest in digital, they go for an iterative development. They will do a version 1, then a year later they will do a version 2 and a version 3. It's an iterative development with the business. And India is the place where we can capture knowledge and build on knowledge. India is the immense knowledge repository, so we must and we will leverage India for digital.
All right. But you know, when it comes to digital skills, really, how does Indian IT professionals fare compared to the global market, purely on digital skills?
I would just say, on data science, excellent. On customer experience and notably the user interface, you know, the touch, here we have to invest a little more because we find good people in strange locations. Yeah. We found fantastic people in Nordic of Europe, Sweden, Finland. So here we might have to invest a little further in terms of people education to become most advanced in the user-friendly experience.
Got it. Last few questions. Will you continue to hire a large number of people in India? Will that trend carry on? Because you still have a significant amount of employee base here in the country.
First, we have planned another year of growth. Because we, Capgemini, are historically anchored in Europe. And Europe is late regarding offshoring, so we still grow. We still grow in our Indian headcount that service continental European client by nearly 20%. We have reached some kind of maximum in the US and even in the UK. But there are growth potential, so we still grow. Last year, the group recruited more than 50,000 people, including 30,000 in India. So we will continue to grow.
All right. As for, we're seeing an increased case of protectionism across various countries. Is that really impacting your business? Because you have businesses in various countries, you employ, people across the world. Is this protectionism really impacting?
It does, but we never populated our US sites with a lot of transfer people from India. We always try to work locally with local people, and we must create and we must protect the mobility. Our Indian people will remain top quality if they have an experience of client interactions. So it will not be a transfer for years or months, but we need to protect the quality of our Indian talent by allowing them to interact with clients.
All right. Lastly, have you had a chance to talk to Salil Parekh after he joined Infosys?
I sent him New Year greetings and he answered me, of course. So it was more exchange of text message. I hope I'm going to see him very soon.
I think it's terrific, and I think it's a really, really important initiative for the country. I think upskilling and new skills are really going to be the future and be the big differentiator. So it's terrific to see industry and government come together on scale to try and drive this impact. And I think it's a huge initiative, incredibly important, and hopefully we should see the output of that over the next few years.
Got it. Rishad, also, Nasscom has indicated previously that, things are getting better as far as the IT sector is concerned. Would you echo with that sentiment that, this year will perhaps be better than what the last 2 years have been, really sort of a churn for the entire IT sector?
So I'm not going to comment on that. I know we have a discussion tomorrow on guidance with the press overall, but I will say, look, if you look at the economies across the world, they're just looking more positive than they ever have been. If you look at the US, you look at Europe, you look at even Japan. And so I think that just generally, even if it's with a time lag, bodes well for the technology industry in the long term. So I'm quite optimistic if you ask me over the next 3 years how the technology industry should unfold, and with the, coupled with the focus on upskilling and new skills, I'm very optimistic. So.
I know you have to go. Last question. I know Wipro has been very positive. This year you want to end with an industry matching growth rate. So things are also looking up for Wipro. The management has been confident about how things are shaping up.
No, look, I'm only, we guide for the quarter, and we've guided for the quarter, and we maintain that. So I have no other comment outside of that. But as I said, overall, we're quite optimistic about how the next few years play out.
I start worrying when things start going well. And the reason I start worrying is because this is the only time after a long period where Middle East is seeing oil prices at a good level. I mean, Africa, things have been quiet. America, thanks to the tax reforms, and the infrastructure spending is looking, almost, the buoyant right now. Europe is doing well. So whole point is that the economy globally seems to be doing well.
The FSI is also looking up, which is really a stronghold. Would you echo that sentiment too, sir, at Tech Mahindra?
Different companies. I'm not going to say that everybody will have the same reaction, because we as a company measure our strategy under the 3 buckets, which is called RUN. RUN is running the operations, changing the operation. Number 3 is working with our clients to grow their business.
How was the reskilling really working at Tech Mahindra? And coming to hiring, would it be better than last year, or the focus is really on optimization?
So 3 questions here. On reskilling, if you see our press announcements about 2 months ago, we did it with the various platforms, and particularly with the MIT and the Harvard platform, EDX. So reskilling is clearly one of our important initiatives. Number 2 is, important part of it is not only reskilling, important part is also realizing the average age that we have is 29 years. So reskilling is the right thing to do.
A student who's studying, at the college, what is it that you want to tell them right now around job creation, around skilling? What piece of advice would you give them?
So number 1 is that most engineering schools have not taken into account what the requirements of the professional marketplace is.
Back away from all the top voices, what's an event without a showcase of technology and startups? Rahul went around to see what was on display at NILF 2018 this time.
Avan, no event of this scale is complete without a touch of the best technology on display. So, of course, you have the big companies, the likes of Google, Capgemini, Wipro, who have showcased the best as far as their technology is concerned, something that they've been working on. But no Nasscom event is complete without a touch of startups. So, you, of course, have some selected startups from the Nasscom 10,000 Startups program. Interestingly, I've noticed that largely the focus that I see from the startups here is around artificial intelligence, around blockchain, around IoT really. So that's really the big focus area as far as startups here are concerned. But interestingly, there is an electric mobility startup here also that has been showcasing. They really have a setup here as far as the best that they have they have concerned. Coming to you, what is it that this seems like? I've seen a lot of them, you know, spend time on these. They've been zooming around the place. Was this really manufactured in India?
No, it's not manufacturing in India. We are just assembling in India. We're importing the part from China and we are assembling in Bangalore. This is called electric unicycle.
Okay, and if I were to buy it, how much would this cost me?
So the minimum cost is 30,000 rupees and 30,000 to 1 lakh is the cost price.
All right. So, so an electric, it's not a cycle in that sense, but I will of course try this out later on. But as you see, in events of this scale really lets startups come to the fore. We saw Google's South Asia Vice President Rajan Anandan spend some time interacting with startups of various kinds. So it's also a medium for them to connect with potential investors, customers, or largely just get feedback from consumers. That's all the action right here from the Nasscom Leadership Forum 2018.
Oh wow, that definitely is AI and IoT in full throttle, Rahul. And with that, we've almost come to an end. But before we let you go, you must listen in to none other than Guru Gyan by Satguru. His talk on inner engineering is quite something. Thanks so much for watching.
Human experience, fundamentally, essentially, is happening from within you. Pain and pleasure happens from within you. Joy and misery happens from within you. Agony and ecstasy happens from within you. Everything that you ever experienced happened from within you, isn't it? Well, the world didn't happen your way, that's not the problem. But at least what's happening from within you must happen your way. Otherwise, you lost your fundamental stock. Yes or no? See, he's not happening my way, that's not the problem. If I'm not happening my way, I'm a lost case. Yes or no? This is because we gave you a super computer. This is the most sophisticated machine on the planet. Do you agree with me, the human mechanism? Huh? But did you read the user's manual? Huh? Have you? No? Simply, accidentally you're handling it? When you handle things accidentally, being anxious is natural. Once you get anxious when things go wrong, becoming fearful is natural. When things go very wrong, you'll be terrorized, that is natural. So, about management, yes, there are mega projects which you are managing, a whole big institution run by volunteers. When I say run by volunteers, 9 million part-time volunteers and over 4,000 full-time volunteers. Managing volunteers means none of them are qualified for the job.